Hi, this is Kals, short, of course, for Kalyani Hariharan, my best friend, philosopher, and guide. She's a combination of all things weird, happy, wild, and amazing. I can't sum her up because she keeps evolving and I can't find the words. Now imagine she is the host for this chat show and I'm being interviewed by my very best friend Kals. We don't meet often, we don't call daily. It's like maybe once a year perhaps for birthday wishes and things like that. But she is my 24-hour go to friend and I'm delighted to share a part of my life story with her. I hope you all enjoy watching it as much as I enjoyed listening to her questions and trying to be as cheerful as possible while asking questions. Answers to which I will take to my grave. So enjoy the spotlight for a change. The spotlight is on me. Much love.
Good morning, Malli, and extremely happy to have you on my first podcast where I aim to celebrate women and people who have created their own path, trailblazers,
Thank
for who have chosen the road not taken. And when I was thinking about people I want to interview, I always say there's so many extraordinary people in our own lives that we meet on a regular basis. There's so many people we come across in our life who have led extraordinary lives,
true.
and they have inspired me up close, up front. And you are one such person who has inspired me and who keeps inspiring me. I think I've known you for the last 25 years, and it's quite a long time. And when I was thinking, like, who do I start with? None other than you. You were the first person that came to my mind because it's been a long journey with you. So,
Good morning, Kals. The feelings are mutual. I reciprocate. Yes, our friendship is beyond 25 years. You have stood through me through thick and thin, and for that I am so grateful.
it's again very mutual. And what I the other reason I wanted to do it with you, I want all these podcasts to be very refreshing, very honest, very blunt, right?
True.
Very irreverent. And
True.
again, that's another thing I can connect with you. I always remember the times that when we meet. Now, had we met in person, I know what we'd have done. Hugged.
Mm.
So here is a virtual hug to you because
Thank
I'm not there, and then giggled. I always say when I'm with Mallika, I laugh the most, I giggle the most, all the silliest things. And that's something I really love about you. The business woman apart, the woman I know is also someone very important for me. All of us have different faces of us. And that's another thing I really love about you. And I thought you will bring that energy, that refreshing bits to this podcast to kickstart. So today, I'll be very honest. This is not scripted, Malli. You can be as honest you want, share whatever you want. And if you're not comfortable with any questions that I ask, you can say, no, Cal, I don't want to answer that at all. And it's perfectly fine, right? Because we're just going to showcase to the people what one can do if they put their mind to it. That's something I really see in you. I admire in you. I'll come to all those a little later. And so that's why I want to start with you. Once again, thank you so much for accepting. Love you.
Love you as much, Kals. Shoot, start
So,
asking.
uh, the general question that people ask is, tell me about yourself. I can introduce you. Mallika Shankar, CEO, founder of SAMMS Jukebox, the campaign people, right? We would go get into that formal introduction later. But then how would you really look at yourself when you look at the mirror? What do you see?
Okay, I see a very beautiful version of myself. Always ready to hit the floor or always ready to start something. I can never get tired of anything. So that's one aspect I really love about myself. And mirror truly presents our true self. There's nothing that's hidden over there. So even while looking at it, I would like to look fresh, whether I'm sleeping, whether I get up or whatever. Unless I look fresh, I feel good, I cannot start the day. So
Okay.
that's how I would like to look at the mirror.
What is Mallika? Who's Mallika?
Okay, so Mallika is a soon to be a 51-year-old lady. Extremely happy about myself.
And we
And
are both very proud about telling our age, isn't it? There's
yes,
nothing
yes,
hidden about
absolutely,
it.
absolutely. I love my age. I'm going to be 51. I love it. I started working CALS when I was 14 years old, 13 and a half, 14 years old. I've told you the circumstances. So I was in central school from first till ninth. I failed my ninth standard. I couldn't pass maths, and ever since I've not studied. So I started off as a sales girl, and I've loved working. The reason behind the counter, when I was 13 and a half, 14 years old, and I was behind the counter of a crockery section in an appliances store. That was my first job at 400 rupees. And I used to work from like 8 a.m. to about 8:30 p.m. I never looked at the time and all that. I used to walk about 8 kilometers to work because, I mean, that was how it was in those days. So we used to have a bus and all that, but I didn't want my classmates to see me that I failed and then had to go to a
Okay.
shop to work. But then that's one thing that I really love, that I absolutely loved it so much that I didn't want to study. I thought, okay,
Okay.
people are coming to me, asking me, how can you can I buy that porcelain, or can I buy lao pala, or can I buy that ceramic? And people were asking me things, and till then I was asking my teachers or my parents or whatever. So this was a new experience for me, that I was behind a counter and I was in charge of that particular section. Sales was very fascinating even then.
Okay.
So I loved it. I started my career as a sales girl, and today, even at 51, I still keep myself behind that counter, and I'm still that sales girl when I'm sitting with a client.
I I know if I remember, you have these number of calls that needs to be made on each particular day, right? Even for this stage of your life where you probably don't need to make. You've got
Yes.
all these things in place that you really need to make those number of calls. You've not forgotten from where you came, and I think that's a very, very, very important aspect that everybody has to learn. Many of us tend to forget that from where we started. We forget the things that this is what brought me here. And then suddenly we flounder. But that's, I think, another thing I attribute to your success. So, how
Uh,
did SAMS happen?
Okay, so I continued working, and then I told my father that I love working and allow me to continue work. And I'm extremely grateful that, back in those days, we were all like joint families, we would be with our grandparents and things like that. But yet, despite all of that, my father allowed me to do what I wanted, so long as I do show some sort of interest in developing knowledge or acquiring skills through other forms. Like instead of reading a film fair, read a business magazine, India Today. So my father, at that age itself, instead of a film fair and Cineblitz, he replaced that with an India Today. So I would start by reading letters to the editor. So things slowly graduated, and after 17 jobs, 16 and a half jobs, over a period of, I think 12, 13, perhaps
Yes.
14 years, I started this Sam's Jukebox. I say 16 and a half because in my previous employment with TVS, they came to know that I wasn't a graduate. Of course, I lied my way through several jobs. I was
Okay.
good at it, not at
They didn't
lying.
ask you for your certificates.
Well, they did. TVS did. And then, of course, I tried my best to dodge as much as I could. But then there came a point where you just come out, and it was a time where we had to part ways. So, yes, I did lie my way through all the sales jobs. Most of the sales jobs I lied my way through. But what I was good at was at my work. I would achieve targets, I would surpass them. And I was a people happy person. I was just happy
Correct.
sitting with people and talking and telling them they wanted something where there was no need for it. So then I started Sam's Jukebox because after leaving TVS, there was no way to go. And starting Sam's Jukebox is like, it's very, it's so exciting. It's so nice because Sam's, they are initials of my family members along with my business partner.
Can you expand on that for the viewers?
Is Suraj, my son. A is Amrita, my daughter. M is Mallika, myself. Another M is my business partner, Mahati. S is Sunil or Shankar, my husband. So Sam's is initials of all of these people who are so close to me, who are a part of my life. And Jukebox is when we were working in TVS. we used to manufacture compact discs and CDs and all of that. So Jukebox was very close to us because the longest I lasted in a company was TVS, 4.5 years. So when we manufactured CDs and all, it was all about music. So then I thought Sam's Jukebox should be, customers should give us some business and our services should sound like music to the ears.
Okay, okay,
They shouldn't complain. So it became Sam's Jukebox.
okay. So, right. So, what does Sam's Jukebox do now? I know your journey, that how you started. If you can just, in a couple of sentences, what it was then when you conceived it. Sam's is now close to 20 years old, if I'm not
So we
mistaken.
are in our 24th year now, and
24th.
24th year. So when we started, it was just my business partner and I. And at home, they didn't even know that, we had lost our jobs, or, we were starting something. So there was a petrol pump, which, where I used to frequently fill fuel. So I went, and it was Ramakrishna fuel station, and that was in T Nagar in Chennai. So that gentleman, I mean, I used to fill fuel frequently, and then I went and told him that I'm jobless and I needed to do something, and can he help me out? And then he said, okay, can you stitch uniforms? Driveway salesman, focus supervisor, mechanic overalls, and every term was so unique and so new to me. And then I just said, yes, why not? Because, sales, it's just there in your blood. So then he showed the Pantone shades. He said, if you're stitching a uniform, you need to be like this. And then a business partner and I, because I didn't have the car, the company took back the car, the house, the phone, all the privileges that I so enjoyed. They took it away. So when reality hits you, shit hits the ground, you start all over, right?
Absolutely.
When I went, and my business partner and I, we would sit on the Spectra, and we would carry a tailor behind us. I mean, the tailor would follow us. And that time, the small, medium, large concept was not there. So Shankar's job was to measure, the measurements of the pump attendants, and the tailor would write down, and then we would make a list of it. Then we used to go down street. Satyanarayan ji, one gentleman was there. We used to go down street, buy cloth in bulk, and give it to this Mohan tailor. So he would stitch. Then at home we would iron it, and then we would deliver it at the petrol pump. So we
Okay.
started like that for about 10. First was 10 or 15 sets of uniforms, and then it became 30. Then he was very happy with it. Then he recommended us to some more petrol pumps. So then we started supplying some more uniforms, and then it went to the regional office. Then they called us. Then we applied for a tender. Of course, we lost the tender. You're just a newcomer.
I
You're
know,
in
I know the story. Yeah.
So we lost the tender. But then we started getting kuti orders from other dealers. Then LPG. LPG, we were the ones who designed a pad for
Collar
the
pads for the, yeah.
collar pads for delivery boys of LPG. We thought that much, that you have to have that human angle also. So we thought, how can we stitch a uniform differently? So we put that shoulder pad on both sides, if at all a person wants to put it this side. And it
Yeah.
was a Velcro. So if he was not comfortable, he could just remote. So we put,
Remove it. Okay.
so that idea was very much appreciated, though not at a national level, but we did start getting small kuti orders. And that is how it set the ball rolling. And where it really hit us was in our third month, we incurred a loss of 1.5 lakhs.
Yeah, I was just going to come to that. Where are you making money?
Initially, it was enough to go around in a Spectra, just see to your home and things like that, but not so much that you can take an office and all. But in our third month, we had a loss of 1.5 lakhs. So when there is a loss, you know that you're in the business for sure, because you
Okay. That's
started.
another perspective. Usually people say, when I'm in a loss, I would rather leave the business.
No, because that's when you know that there is no way out.
Going back.
You have to get out of it. And in the process of trying to get out of the loss, we learned a lot. We started accepting orders for 10 files. I mean, people would call and say, Mallika, do you supply 10 files? And we would run with the Spectra and we would say, yes, what do you want? They would say, box files chahiye, ye chahiye, wo chahiye. We would go
Okay.
and we would take that. And then slowly we went to a pharma company. I remember the company named Nicholas Piramal Pharmaceutical Company.
Yes.
They were in Tondiarpet that time. And
Okay.
then, we went there and they were testing us. There was this very beautiful friends. I can name them because today also I'm friends with them. Sandeep Rathi and Sanjay Suri, very good friends of
Yes.
mine.
I have
And
also met them.
you also met them,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, right.
Because you helped us to collect some outstanding that I can't forget those stories. So then they gave us some order like 15 files. Can you give this? Can you give? It was all kuti kuti stationery items, but they were like testing us. And one fine day, they gave us 100 bags order with packing, logo, and all. So we learned the tricks of the trade along with our friends and business associates who gave us a chance and opportunity.
Just,
But
yeah,
that chance and opportunity did not come because I decked up well and I presented myself in front of them. No. I
not at all.
sat from morning to evening. I was okay to take an order for 11 files. I was okay to sit for 7, 8 hours just to make it work and to let them know that we can take any order. So over time, we were like a Pandora's box. Anything you wanted, you call SAMS and they would get it for you. Over the course of time, we picked up and we learned many things. So
True, true. I would say synonym of Mallika is also hardworking. It's just not about smart working. You were willing to, you still are willing to get your hands dirty. Though you're the CEO, now you've got a big team. I don't think you ever sit behind and say, I won't do this. You do everything. And that's what we expect your team members also to do. You would never ask them to do something that you will not be able to do. If my understanding about you is right.
it is right.
So then from there, how did you come to conducting campaigns? So because Sam's Jukebox is about campaigns, this is to the viewers. They are the campaign people, especially with relation to oil industries, oil companies mainly, and also FMCG. So Mallika, if you can just share about that journey, how you became the campaign people.
All right. So over time, when we started supplying uniforms, I remember we had one meeting in Mangalore with an oil marketing company. And so when we went there for a t-shirt order, the role of us being there was that they were happy with the uniforms and they wanted to know whether we could supply t-shirts to them. And so therefore, my partner and I, we went there. It was in Udupi, Mangalore. So we went over there. We went for the meeting. And in the meeting, we see that along with us, there were like at least 14, 15 vendors. It was like an open forum. And we were there for the t-shirts, but there was somebody else for iron, somebody else was supplying something else. So they were different vendors and the discussions were varied. Our scope was limited to t-shirts alone, but everybody else had come for so many other things. And then after the meeting was over, I requested the gentleman whether we could, have an extended meeting with them. And the gentleman was kind enough to say that, okay, tomorrow let's meet at so and so time. So my partner and I, we went back over there and we asked them what was the purpose of calling us for the meeting. And then they said that they're doing a campaign, it's scratch and mix.
Okay.
Those days, this mobile, I remember the first campaign when we did petrol was 22 rupees 80 paise.
Okay.
The first 1 liter of petrol, it used to cost 20 to 18 paise, and diesel was around 18, 19 rupees a liter. So then we went and we asked him. Then he said, Madam, we are doing a scratch and win campaign. I said, Kya hota hai? He said, customers come to the petrol pump, they will get a coupon, they scratch the card, and they may get one of the gift items. Your job is to supply t shirts.
Okay. Okay.
So then we said, okay. And then we said, why don't you give us all the orders? We will take the entire bouquet and everything. So then he is like, you're a newcomer. It's a government organization. I cannot do anything. My hands are tied. And we are like, fine, we follow your rules. We will deliver and then we'll take the payment. There is no need for purchase order. Don't give a PO. Just allow us to deliver the item. So then he said, okay, we gave a quotation. He said we have to match, but till such time, he will still keep the vendors on standby. So my business partner and I, we came back. Just then I got my Provident Fund from TVS. So
Okay.
that money, it was back then it was 80,000 rupees. So I got 80,000. Then my business partner got his share and some jewelry. We pledged everything. And I remember, Cals, we gave a total of 111 checks to different vendors, all PDCs and some advance and all. The whole idea was that if a vendor, God forbid, the check bounces, it's only for 10 or 20,000 rupees.
Okay.
It does matter, but not so much where they file a case on us and all. So we started off in a way where we were scattered too much. The whole idea was that we reduce the liability with just two, three people and spread out. Luckily, we were able to, get everything together, take the material. And my partner, he traveled in the truck from Chennai to Mangalore by truck. We were taking the consignment from here, and it was one petrol pump in Lady Hill outlet in Mangalore. So we actually started delivering, and the dealers started coming. They started taking the material and they started making the payment to us. And that was the first campaign. We made a 1,42,000 in that particular campaign. So whatever loss we had, slowly we were able to offset. And then when we saw the entire campaign, we executed, we started delivering the stocks. We went back after like a month because honestly, there was no job in between. This consumed so much of our energy and, made us so occupied. It was like how actors and actresses feel during film shooting. Everything is over and suddenly movie releases and they don't have anything at all. It felt that way. Okay.
So the lull during the camping. So what was going through in your
During the
mind?
lull, again, Shankar and I went back to Mangalore. It happens, you catch hold of that one person who supports you and you try to lean on to them for additional support, which is precisely what happened in this case also. So then we went and saw that in the same Mangalore, the hoardings were there at the petrol pumps, scratch and win, and the campaign was doing exceptionally well. More than 80,000 scratch cards had come back into the system, which is people had filled out and given and all. And then I saw that the brands where we were giving them, which we were purchasing and giving it to them, were being advertised on the hoarding. And that's when I went back to the oil company and said, why are you advertising a product where you're purchasing, you're purchasing it? How about I get you the same product free of cost and would you be willing to give that? And they said, why not? And thus cross promotion started. And after 24 years now, we have covered 48,240 petrol pumps till date.
Amazing. That really deserves a big clap.
Yes.
Tell me, other than the organizations in India, the petrol organizations in India, you've also been abroad. You've been awarded. I think you won some competition, the third best business idea, uh,
So it
way
is
back 7 or 8
Stevie
years back.
Award for Women in Business and Stevie Awards for Women in Business. We were given the award by the editor of Forbes in New York. And so my business partner and I, we had the privilege. It was an all expenses paid trip. We went to the US, we received the award and came. And a couple of years ago, I mean, I'm talking like 15 years ago, the Satyam women, leaders, women leaders, and things like that. And ET, Leaders of Tomorrow. I was shortlisted for that. I didn't get it, but I was shortlisted for that. And some other forum. These days, these things don't matter at all.
Absolutely.
Get something or
But the
the other.
Stevie Awards was a big thing for you in your career also.
Yes. So Stevie Awards is a huge thing because for somebody like me, I've never stepped out and going to America to receive an award amongst such well-learned people. People from all over the world had come, and Marquis, the hotel was Marquis Hotel, and even today the interview and this is available on YouTube. So it is amazing to have something like that. And once I came back, then I was interviewed by NDTV also, NDTV all about ads. And so therefore there's one that is in India. So that's there by Shruti Verma Singh. She
Where you
interviewed.
proudly said, yes, I failed my ninth.
It's a fact.
Is such a honest confession because many of us think it's only that educational background which would, propel us forward. But I think it's more than that. It is just not your qualification, not your certifications. It's much, much, much more than that. It's the knowledge that you acquire. It's the skills and the attitude, which I always say, ask attitude, skills, knowledge. These three are very important for our growth and just not what we learn in school or college, considering you're a school dropout again.
But Kals, when you say that, I look at you and I remember you teaching Prahlad and Pari, and those are the really like the times I missed out as a parent. So while not having an education is one side of it, the other side is also that if I was qualified, if I was educated, the additional time you would have had with your child in trying to, for them, that tuition could have been avoided, that extra time you would have got with your child. So those are things that you miss out on. So education definitely is a must, because then it gives you multiple choices.
That is true. That I agree. But sometimes I feel it also brings us down. It puts us in a box unless we are willing to come out of that box.
I agree.
So that's what. No, I have all. As an educator myself, I do believe in education, and but still, you didn't, like you rightly said, you didn't allow that to deter you from doing anything, right?
But
Anyway,
you
yeah.
also continued, no, Kelsey? You did your MA, B.Ed, M.Ed, if I'm right, and so many other things, right?
Right,
So,
because one, I did my MA. I mean, my story is very different. When I got married very young, I just completed my graduation and then I did my BA because I was afraid that no, I wanted to have a job in case of emergencies. I was not a career woman. I had absolutely no aspirations. I fell in love, got married. I mean, I think my life ended there, and then I had my
fall in love.
Lala was born so early.
Did
Yeah.
he
So,
also fall in love with you? Did Hari also
pardon,
fall in love with you?
pardon.
Did Hari also fall in love with you, or was
Yes,
it?
obviously, that's when we got married. Correct. So that's why we got married. So I didn't have any aspirations. Again, there was no need for me to earn my bread and butter. That's again another thing, right? Money was not a need for me at that time. It didn't strike me at all. I just needed money for small, small things. And so I was happy being a homemaker. I still remember telling Hari when he proposed to me that I won't go for a job. I will be a 24-hour mother, 24-hour homemaker. I mean, come to think of it now, it's just ridiculous because I'm not. But
And you
that
didn't do any of that either.
didn't think it was just love and wanting to be with him. It was that simple, I'm talking about 33 years back in the 1990. Yet, yeah, I had to complete my graduation because my in-laws and my husband said, you have to be a graduate. You just can't drop out that way. And I said, okay, force myself to complete. To be very, very honest, I still said, if tomorrow any emergencies, I need a job, what should I study? The only thing which came to me, my mind was B.Ed because teaching job all over India, if you have a B.Ed, you will get a job. It was that much I had some common sense. I did my B.Ed. That's all, with no intention of working or seeing myself as a great teacher, nothing of that sort. But anyway, invariably, I landed up in a teaching job and then life took many turns and I love teaching. Even today, it's one of my passions. I think I'm a born teacher. Just love to learn, love to teach, love to share. I did my MA only recently because I still want to do my PhD. I did my MA in music and MA in literature also because I want to do my PhD. Because the PhD is not to get a doctorate. It's the journey towards reaching there, the learnings that we would have in that journey. Dr. Kalyani Hariharan does sound good, isn't it? So I want to do that.
You're
Unless
the
someone confers me with a title, I would still do the PhD.
It will sound very good on you, Kels. Anything sounds good on you.
Thank you so much. So now tell me, I'm going to ask you a very cliched questions. Please pardon me for that. Now, as a woman in business from a very young age, did you face any challenges? Because this is also for the other women viewers who would be seeing our podcast.
So challenges are there. Definitely, I mean, definitely they are
No,
there.
everybody, all business owners will have challenges. I completely agree with it. But as a woman, what were your challenges?
So, see, I won't be able to say it like as a woman, there were challenges because I've had a business partner, at least in the past 24 years, I've had a business partner too. So, challenges are there for men, but not as much as women have it. Women may have the entry point. The entry point is there. The challenge is in closing the deal. It's not about the entry point. Entry point, definitely you get, okay, a lady is coming in. So courteousness or the politeness or the gentlemanly feeling the other person wants to treat you well. So at the point of entry, it is definitely much better. hey, I'm Mallika, I'd like an appointment is way better than, hey, I'm a Shankar, can I come and meet you? And like, why don't you get in touch with the brand manager? This
I know.
happens.
I agree with.
So, in terms of challenges, the entry point has been definitely good. But as you grow, if you're at a starting level, yes, everything is hunky dory. You know, it's like, ठीक है, आज का चल जाएगा. Tomorrow it is good. Day after it is good. But when you're growing, you want the organization to grow. You want to take people along with you. That is when the real challenge comes in, because then people start, the demands come in, and then so many other things come in, and then things that you're not prepared for, but then the business prepares you for everything. So over time, I won't say you develop a thick skin. I haven't been able to till date, but it's, you just find a way to navigate. You just find a way to navigate.
True. One question, I mean, it just struck me. I still remember when you told, remember you when we met in Bombay for an, you had to market or sanitary pad. I want you to share that story.
Sanitary pad and condoms, both actually.
Yeah, I think she or something. I don't remember
So
something.
one was a she, and it was a sanitary pad, and everybody, all the oil companies, and like, how do you do it? And I was like, it's going to a housewife. It has to reach a house. Why don't we just tag it to a cylinder, pack it well, tag it to a cylinder, and reach it home? I still think it's a good idea, though.
It's a brilliant idea. Did they take it up? Really?
The brand name was she, and then taking me as an example, they would have thought she must be stupid to bring that on board. So
But even today, if I can recall this after 15, 16 years, I think it's one of the best ideas. Uh, I don't know, people are still embarrassed about, bringing this out in the open or the condoms. I think you did it for all the highway trucks or
yeah, so the conference
something.
was a very interesting story, and I was with officials, and the room was full of men, and I was the only lady, and I took the packs with me, and I was sitting at the table, and at least five of them had their eyes down all the time. I was talking about why we should do a campaign and why we should give this through commercial sex workers, have a campaign called Drive Safe, Play Safe, issued in the health of, women's safety by Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Why don't we get their support also on board? So that was the whole concept behind it. And the brand, of course, a very popular brand, so then they agreed to give about 100,000, condoms for men, and of course for women some contraceptives too, so which we could market, not market really, it was for free distribution. It was more like a corporate social responsibility thing. So I was
Okay.
getting anything out of it. I was not asking them money, but I wanted to be instrumental in something so huge so that I get some publicity and, somebody else contacts me. And that was the whole idea. I am happy for the audience that I got, that the men were willing to listen to me. But I do not know how many really listened, because all the time their eyes were down. And there came a point where I had to tell them, could you please
Please.
look at me once? Everybody was looking at their shoes, and I had to tell them, could you just look at me? It's not that I'm asking you to market, I'm just using your platform. That's all I'm asking. Petrol pumps are such a beautiful place. You have tens and thousands of drive-ins coming in every day. What better platform than to market this, and that too on highways? You give it to truck drivers, and we can market it through them and all of that. So that was a very funny incident. And there was another one. It was an energy drink, and it's very hilarious, really, because it was an energy drink, and it was Kama Sutra energy drink. So we were giving it out free. And I gave a caption saying, get fuel to get kissed, as in KSED. And that kind of backfired. So you can't always get what you want.
No, I know sometimes you like to be shocking. For you, it's normal. For the other people, it could be quite a shocker. And that's
It's a
something I love
job for
about you,
them.
by the way. That
It's
that
just a job.
irreverence, because
It was just a job. I'm just trying to tell people, fill fuel and get a KSED drink. So we first had the tag, get fuel to get kissed, and the second day the hoarding was pulled down, and we had to change the creative, and
Because I still remember when you were sharing with me about this sanitary pad which you want. I said, how can you even think of it? You asked me one question which still resonates with me, which rings in my ears. Why do you think with your heart? It's just business. It's just another product,
yes,
right? So even now, so when something's happened in my life like this, immediately I'll think about that line. So those words are very priceless, priceless nuggets of business wisdom. Why do we always have to? It's just yet another product, no, right? So those things like that. So what are the other
funny
nuggets,
anecdotes. So
funny anecdotes, or things that you really overcame?
okay, the funny things, helps us to overcome the struggles. Yeah, there are a lot of struggles are there, undoubtedly. There are times you're like low, they literally kind of kick you in the stomach, but then they test you also. And then, so how do I say? And while you get
Perseverance is
the
the
struggles,
word.
and there's so much happiness and so many beautiful moments. The struggles are minuscule compared to the other.
No, when you're talking about it now,
Yeah, when we talk about it now, because in today's scenario, you look back and you laugh, you smile at all those things, you
true.
laugh at it. I remember one of the things, it was a very, very big order in Nasik, and 1,500 dealers of oil company from all over India had come in. And my business partner, he had cut his toe and he was bleeding profusely. And, the shoe was so packed with the blood and everything. The shoe was not coming out at all. We had to cut open the shoe, and we walked in with just the socks. We had that meeting with the socks, but no one cared. No one really cared. No one cares actually. With the difficulties you face, honestly, no one cares. So this is an answer to when you ask if things are any easy for women. Things are not easy neither for the women nor for the guy. Sometimes it's a little difficult because we being the women, the
Yeah, very
opportunity
true.
is that we don't want to put up with it, but we put up with it. But then I guess that's okay. I cannot complain, Gals. Today I have this beautiful team, almost 30 people, and a 4,350 square feet building, no external funding, and total year to date sales are 137 crores. So when you look back at these things, your struggles are, you can overcome those struggles.
Absolutely. But from a 1.5 lakh loss to what you have achieved now is absolutely phenomenal and should be celebrated. And I don't think you have this, knowing you don't have this goal setting. Let me plan. What is your work ethic? How do you go about it?
So, when I get up in the day, the first thing that comes to my mind is whose birthday is it? Whose wedding anniversary is it? And do I have to call someone and wish them? The day starts off with that. So when I look at the phone, I'll be wrong to say that I don't look at it. I do not look at my phone after 9:30 till 3:45. I get up at 3:45 every day, no matter where
So
I am.
can you share your daily routine with us?
So I wake up by 3:45, no later than 4 a.m. And yes, I do look at my phone to see if I have missed out on something important. And then, of course, I start the day by, okay, just that thought that you have to wish someone, is it someone's birthday today? You finish that. And then I kind of get ready. Then 4:30, I go to the gym. And 4:30 a.m., I'm ready to go to the gym
Gym is open at 4:30?
because the master lives on top. And
Okay.
top of the building, not our colony, but it's an external gym. So
Okay.
4:45 till about 6:15, I finish my workout, different kinds of workout. A lot of factors motivate me to go to the gym, definitely. I'm 51. I'd like to be healthy. I want to travel the world. I have set a goal for myself. I want to travel solo. So, in order to be able to do these things, I need to be healthy, and therefore, I'm going to the gym. I was 78. I'm 62 now. And so by 6:15, I get back, and 6:45, I'm ready. 7:15, I leave home, and 7:10, 7:15, I leave home. 7:30 a.m. I come to the office. So from 7:30 a.m. till 8:30 a.m., that 1 hour that I have, it is so crucial. I look at the previous day, any pending work, and I look at today. So I have like 10 LinkedIn connects. I have to connect with 10 people on LinkedIn. And if the previous day somebody has connected, then I send out proposals to them. I write to them and I switch on that light music, some nice romantic songs. And I'm a sucker for romance, pretty much like you. So I put on this very light music.
Love does make our world go around.
It does. It really does. And then my team comes in. So the usual hangama of the day, who's done what, and targets, and we end up talking. About the day and who's going to do what is the travel plan, itinerary, and things like that. You did ask me whether there is a fixed goal. I have to bring so much. I've not been able to come around to do that as yet, much as I try. It's like for me, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. So I'm not able to have that goal. Yes, as a CEO of the company, I'm supposed to do that. But then I have that day lined up, my activity lined up, and my days are going. So I'm not able to get into that mold. In that sense of the term, I'm pretty bad.
No, I would in fact look at it the other way. Generally, people tell us that you must have a goal. This is how you must plan. Have it previous day. But you are one person who has actually gone out to prove that you really don't need to have this short term goal, long term. Just have that one day. Do what needs to be done for that particular day, whether it is follow up, whether it is calling up people, or just getting the action done. And that's what has helped you reach the goal. You're not even thinking beyond 3 months, right? You are
Hmm.
doing your activities for the day in the right manner, in the right way, and that's what is. You're just about action.
Yeah.
No different between thought and action. You just do it.
Because honestly, it works. I mean, there are too many meetings and too many of that thing. It really spoils the flow. You just tell the team what needs to be done, and then they are, I mean, people are adults. They know they can take care of themselves. They can take care of the company they're working for also. And we have a very healthy environment here, right? From a 20-year-old to 76-year-old Vivian sir. We have all age groups, all kinds, people who speak 8 different languages. We have a very varied, young, vibrant,
And I've
sickening
seen it.
energy. Uh,
It's like a party all the time.
it is like a party also, but there is discipline too.
There's
We
a lot
make
of work being done. Yeah.
we maintain an extremely disciplined work culture when it comes to the timings. I'm very, very particular about it. Anybody who comes in after 9 a.m., even 1 minute later than 9 a.m., we have that 8 hour period. So that 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, it all adds up to 8 hours. One day it's cut. So the whole purpose behind it is to have a disciplined lifestyle. If you have the discipline to come to the office on time, you open your laptop on time, you see the things to do, then you'll know how to plan the next. Your lifestyle also you can take it. All it requires is discipline, and for that, early to bed, early to rise.
I know you've always followed this right from whenever, all your life, I would say, at least last
Yeah,
20
all my
years.
life. And a lot of it goes to our, pardon me for saying, Hindu kind of upbringing. Kalili endriknum, kolam podnum, that when you're living with your
True.
tata party, you have to do that, Endriknum, tani potu, kolam potu, you have to do that stuff. And I'm not getting the Tamil word because I'm Telugu, that Kalla Pujallali in Telugu, they would say. So that thing, that upbringing, one whack on the back and they would wake us up. But then,
Seriously.
or the lights would be jarring and the fans would be, they'll switch off the fan, and that was the way our grandparents would wake us up, or our parents would.
Absolutely. They'll switch off the fan. Absolutely. My mom used to do it, and then I'll be up. Till
And
then, I would have loved to
they
just
would do
cover
that.
myself
And
and
then,
sleep.
like, we go, we hug our children and say, Nalla Padtiya Raja, did you have good dreams? Day, Challakutti, you want to sleep for some more time?
Very
So,
true. It's nice.
I do the same.
One more cliched question. How did your family react to your business? Right? I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about when you started.
So, like I said, when the moolah comes in home or when the family is taken care of, not too many questions are asked by anyone, whosoever that may be. And I think this applies to any family.
Any family.
Family is running you're able to run your family, you're able to take care of the finances. I don't think too many questions are asked then. I mean, at least in my case, I've not had that. I can't speak for all women, but I'm just saying that
You make it sound very, very simple, but yeah,
when that necessity arises, I think everyone comes around.
right. Okay. So let's wrap it up. You've been with me for an hour and thank you so much. There's so much to talk. So we'll be definitely having an episode 2 with you a little later. And just another couple of, if you were to sum up your life, what would you say?
A sum of my life, as in,
Just
uh,
a few words.
okay, ड्रीम गर्ल किसी शायर की गजल.
Okay, now you have to translate this.
Dream girl. And किसी शायर is it a शायर? How do you say? शायर is like somebody, a poet.
Verse, poem.
Shair is a poetry, no? Ghazal is like lyrics or
Yeah, correct.
that kind of a thing. Like I'm able to say it in Hindi, but not in English. But if you want me to say that about myself, that's exactly how I would describe, because I
How
really
would you?
think I'm good. And what's made me good is people like you, my people whom you associate with make a world of difference, gals. You know, before you sum it up, I have to acknowledge your role in
I'm
my
going to
life.
come to that. Would you like to mention some names who've been part of your life, who helped you grow, or you learned from them? Would you like to say some, gratitude, thanks? Uh, Talk about them. At least
Uh,
their names or
Yeah, growing up, see, you make a lot of sacrifices at home, right? So we forget the sacrifices that our family also makes for us, be it our children, my daughter, my son. My daughter became like a mother to my son when I was traveling. So much of travel was there. So the sacrifices more than me, the children have made. Today, you're able to appreciate that, and they're able to appreciate that. So for that, I'm so grateful. The spouse, the way they pitch in, they become the house husband when the housewife is not there, or when the lady of the house is not there, they take care. So that is a sacrifice you can't ignore. Friends like you, Gals, and like my very good friends here at office. So over time, like you, Usha madam, Vivian sir, these people have stood by me through thick and thin. You,
Shankar.
Tank, especially you, Kals. I remember, I won't forget. My children also don't. In the middle of the night, I had this crisis, and you were just waiting at the door. 1.5 hour, you were guiding me on the phone. Malli, come like this. Malli, come like that. Malli, take this route. Malli, take that route. And then you had this piping hot food for us and my children. And there are things that I'll never ever forget. And for that, I'm so grateful to you, Cal. So I'm here.
That's
Love this
okay.
journey, but
You're
I also
embarrassing me. Don't mention it.
I love you, Kels.
Love
Really.
you too. Other people you would like to, business wise, would you like to mention some names?
Business wise, the oil companies, they support me immensely. There is a huge support because they see value in what we offer. There is a huge value proposition also that we bring to the table. So,
Absolutely.
A.H. Subramanian sir of BPCL, D.K. Patnaik sir from HPCL, and IOCL, G. Ramesh sir, and all of these people, when we had started off with IOC, BPC, HPC, and Deepak Anand Bharali in Indian Oil, who had given us the first order. So these are people who gave us our first break. And for that, I'm so grateful. And we are continuing a journey. Many of them have retired, but we are still going strong, age-wise
Excellent.
also.
Very
Recently there was this meeting, Gals, and one of the OMC gentlemen said, "अरे मैडम हमारा तो retirement है, आप तो retire भी नहीं होती."
good. Advantage of being on your own, there's no age for retirement.
So thank you, Kals, for having me. I love you.
Wonderful having you.
God bless you
Love
so
you too.
much.
What are your hobbies?
Uh,
Other than business, I won't say business is your hobby, business is your life. You live, eat, dream, SAMS. So, but other than that,
so I love to write. I love to write poems. So I've written some of it, mostly in the flights and airports. It's an observation of people. It's what I observe of people. And other than that, I love dancing, and not the professional dancing. It's tapangutu kind of a thing. It's energy where it burns a lot of calories and consumes a lot of your energy, that kind of a thing. And I basically love hanging around people. I can't be.
Wonderful. One last question. Do you think you have created your own destiny? Or do you think it's all fated like some people believe? Because
You,
as a personal transformation coach and I'm into dreams to destiny, I really believe that we can make our own, create our own destiny with what we desire.
I
Do you
strongly.
resonate with that, or how was do you think your life has been like that?
Yeah, I mean, looking back, I would say that yes, every step of the way, something or somebody has always transformed my dreams to making it a reality. So it definitely it is a result of your hard work and what you're going to do. So the term that you used, what was it?
Dreams to destiny, and we are just not fated. There's some people say, na, mera kismat hai, or in Tamil, they say, idella
One soul is
thaleyezhuthu.
back.
But
One
we
soul is
all,
back. One tight slap and they'll cool off. Really, Kals, whosoever that may be, and I speak for everyone here. One tight
yes,
slap and just let them sit wherever they are. You can't crib, Kals. It's not a opportunity to crib. It's not. If today we have everything, and it's a
true,
bane actually. Unfortunately, it's a bane. Today, there's too much of information available. There's too much access to everything. So don't sit and crib. You can't do it. You're not capable of doing it. It's as simple
very
as. But to say it's
blaming
destiny,
blaming
but
fate is just a way out, I would say. Should still, we can
no,
create our own destiny if we want to. That's
definitely
it.
we have to. But if someone says, oh, panna mudile, one tight whack and they'll cool off, really. Seriously, I mean, I'm sorry, Cass, to
No, no
anything
problem
like
at
that.
all.
But
No
then
problem.
I'm saying if it is doable. There are many opportunities for everybody. Everyone has chances and opportunities. There are jobs for jobless people. I know people are getting jobless, but there are jobs out there. You need to compromise either on your salary. I remember 24 years ago, Cals, I was drawing 35,000 rupees and a car and a house rent was being paid. And I had that Motorola type of Bompo phone and everything was being paid by the company. And when I started off, it was 5,000 rupees. I would take home 5,000 just to pay the 5,000 rupee house rent. So you have to be willing and ready to, okay, you are here, you're coming down here. But then again, you can climb up.
We
You
can, yeah,
can't say, I was here, I can only go here. You're here, you have to come down here also. If you're prepared for that, then you can't crib.
absolutely. It is. There was a recent post that you shared that with the petroleum minister. What was it about? And if you
We
can just
haven't,
share that.
haven't. So we were in this exhibition at India Energy Week, spent quite a lot getting there and taking a stall in order to be able to interact with all the giants of the oil industry. And then I came to know that, what happened was I was talking to the security guards and I'm saying at every stage how networking is important. So I was talking to the security guards, the maintenance people and everybody. And I just wanted to know which VIP was entering which hall, so I had to know that. And then after some time, I got to know that, okay, one VIP has come into our hall number and our stall was 3I33. So the moment that happened, I took a couple of brochures. And I remember Honorable Minister's pictures were being taken in a particular stall. And I was on this side and I was saying, Minister, sir, thoda smile kijiye. And I was just a lady in one corner taking some pics from my phone and I was asking him to smile. And then when Minister Sir came out and I just made my way through and I gave him the brochures and he actually heard me. I mean, getting a 10-minute or 12-minute audience, you're able to speak among so many people about your company. And he was listening and then he called his assistant and he passed on my brochure. I don't care where the brochure ends up. It
Yes,
was
yeah,
in
I
his
know.
hand, and I was talking to him, and he was listening to me. And that moment is so precious. And you have to
Absolutely.
do that. That networking was also important. I got that opportunity. I seized that opportunity, and then I said, "Okay, let me go and let me talk." And so I had the
Yeah.
chance.
Seizing opportunities has also been one of your strengths. Coming to that, what are your strengths?
Like I said, I have no ego, no inhibitions, no shame. As in, if somebody says something, I don't mind it. I know everything is work related, everything For me, it is all about work. Nobody means it personally. So if somebody says something, don't take offense to it. You're just doing your job. So you go there, you do your job, you come back home, and at home, you're a different person. It's like that onion kind of a thing. So when
Right.
you leave home, you have this persona of onion. Once you go home, it's that persona. You have to learn to differentiate both. So I don't mind if people say something. So I have no shame. I tell this to everybody in marketing. Don't come here if you have shame, ego, inhibitions, and oh, அவங்க அப்படி சொன்னாங்க, அவங்க அப்படிதான் சொல்வாங்க. You change yourself. That's all. So these are things, these are my qualities, and I'm a people's person. I love being with people.
And you don't grab opportunities, you create opportunities, right? Do you agree with that?
Well, you have to. There is a window of opportunity. Just get in there and see, make yourself heard. Because everybody wants to say everything to everyone. Every second there's something new on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or whatever. So, how do you stand out from all of that? You do
True.
something different and get noticed. Others, you're doing the same thing. You're still mimicking the same famous song and you're trying to get traction. It's not going to happen.
Very true. Your weaknesses.
I if there's something I say it off, I cry it and I forget it then and there. So I can't keep something too emotional. I say it off to everyone. It doesn't matter like அவங்ககிட்ட ஏன் சொன்னேன் இவங்ககிட்ட ஏன் சொன்னேன் don't tell that person like that. So I can't do that. If I'm with a driver and I've had some incident or episode at home, I tell and I finish it off. So when by the time I come to the office, it's over also.
That
So
is true. Very
weakness is
true.
that I open up easily.
With that, I would consider it as a strength and not a weakness.
Thank you, Kels.
Okay. So thank you, Malli. Have a great day. And I'm looking forward to your Sam's 25th Silver Jubilee celebrations.
Definitely. You will be a part of it as always. Love you too. Take care.
Lovely.
Bless you.
Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.
Likewise. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.